coming at you live, covering all things professional wrestling. A show by members of the Busted Open Nation. Welcome to the Nation's Corner. Here are your hosts, the Nation's Corner crew.
Welcome. It is Saturday, and that means Nation's Corner is live on YouTube. And we got an interesting cast of characters going on here. A little bit different than normal. Everybody's busy. Everybody abandoned us for the night. We got Ezra and Neil. How are you guys doing?
What's up?
Doing all right. Let's rock and roll.
Hell yeah. So as you can see, I'm in a different place.
Looks awesome.
I'm in a different place. So we finally got our upstairs loft kind of organized. We went and got some frames. So the wall, I'll try to move it up here without messing up my camera angle. So we got our lovely wall here.
Cool.
And yeah, I really like it. I think it looks great. So this is going to be my new space to the show. Yay.
Awesome.
Hell yeah. So we had a lot of stuff happen in wrestling this week, like across the board in all companies.
Wait. Where are the old guys?
Okay, yes. Thank you, John.
Yeah,
some people are in the most magical place on earth, Long Island.
And correction to John, it's not in Long Island. You're on Long Island.
You're on Long Island, yes.
Okay.
So I've been told.
Yes.
Yes, so John and Mongrovian are at the big event in New York. So they have been seeing lots of people all day today, saying hi to everyone that we know out there. I believe they are going to be trying to get a couple short clips with people, so keep an eye out for that in the near future. So yeah,
the social media team will be working hard.
Yeah, the social media manager will work very, very hard on that. I will make sure of it. And it is, yes, Steven, it is MJF's birthday, which is why I am wearing this shirt tonight. Happy birthday, Max.
Nobody cares.
Oh, Victory Pro Wrestling is tonight. Thank you, John. Big event was today. Victory Pro Wrestling is tonight. And I assume y'all will have a grand time and stay out of trouble.
Well, I know John will.
With the two of them, yeah, no chance.
We don't know. We don't know.
No chance with the two.
Elder might get himself locked in a retirement home for all we know.
Yeah, Jackie might be getting a phone call.
And
she might
be happy. Pick him up. Oh fuck no, Jackie ain't picking him up somewhere. She's gonna leave him there. Yeah. Enjoy nice and peace and quiet at the house.
Of course, I'm sure she would love that.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we are. Everybody is screwed when John and Grandpa get together.
Yep.
So speaking of John last night was also at H2O Wrestling for Intergender Bonanza. So I can't wait to hear about all the hijinks that happened there. Intergender Bonanza is Stan Styles promotion. So our friend Stan Styles.
Cool.
So yeah, I can't wait to hear all about that. All right, let's get into it. So we'll start on the WWE side. I know on SmackDown, so they're on the European tour right now. So SmackDown happened earlier in the day, and we didn't get to see it till hours later. So I know some people saw spoilers online, which unfortunately is about to happen.
Yep.
But so I didn't get to watch it. I know, Ezra, you watched it. So what was your biggest takeaways from the show?
Really, my biggest takeaways were obviously the continuous build of the Rock John Cena story with Cody. obviously Cody was out there to do Miz TV that last night, and Miz TV, it didn't work out according to plan. Obviously, with the brawl between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte posed a distraction, but Cody was in no mood to play around. Hit the crossroads on Miz, called it a day, gave a really short and sweet promo, basically saying, John, if you have the balls to show up on Monday, I'll be there as well. Short, sweet, to the point. It wasn't something long-winded. It was something that was just needed to sell you to watch on Monday. And then they accomplished that goal. The other thing that really struck me as far as show was of course, I think, well, I got to say the tag title match main event delivered. They did an awesome job. DIY Street Profits, phenomenal match. But the two promos we got early in the evening signifying two possible returns or debuts or one possible return in the debut. Of course, we saw a promo, which we obviously a lot of fans are guessing and probably are right on, is the debut of Penta's brother and former AEW star Rey Fenix. The other is a little bit more of a mystery with some smog footsteps and the number 4 appearing on there, which also I think might actually be an A with the little piece missing in the smoke. In a case, we could be seeing the return of one Aleister Black to WWE.
Yes.
So those are my takeaways from the show. But overall, SmackDown was awesome last night. Definitely can't miss TV. And Monday's just a bit better, I think.
Yeah, I think with those vignettes that you just said, I think everybody kind of knows, both of them are kind of like a given at this point. Like, it's not a shocker that they're going there. We know, but it's exciting to see. Neil, I know that you didn't really get a chance to watch, but you kind of caught up on some clips.
Yes. Caught up on, as you said, the spoilers. Yeah.
So I'm sure that you have thoughts on the whole Charlotte and Tiffy thing.
I do. I like the match. I'm for it. I'm for Tiffy time. I don't care. I love Tiffy time, for not the reasons that the both of you would think that I like Tiffy time. Yes, it's those, but it's also because I like the story and Charlotte being the heel and coming back and being arrogant. Yes, it is John Bay. It's always Tiffy time. But I like how she's grown. She's gotten better, and this is a real test for her with Charlotte. I had some about the two dives that Tiffany made, because she completely missed Charlotte on both of them.
Okay.
And I'm just like, oh, okay, but at least you got right up and you fired up and you kept the focus on you, Tiffany, which was good. But I'm looking forward to the match. Charlotte being the heel is perfect. I'm hoping and praying that Tiffany wins. I don't think she will, but it should still be a good match. The both of you shaking your heads at me. Okay, yeah.
Tiffy's not winning for sure.
I don't.
No. Tiffy's definitely not winning. That's for sure.
Yeah. I don't want to admit it, just like I didn't want to admit what happened on Tuesday night. Which I'm still not. Even though I love both of them, I wanted one to win, or I wanted an old school, interference and a disqualification. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. I want to give a quick shout out before we keep going. The lovely Brooke in the chat ran a 5K today. Congratulations. Awesome. That is not something I could do for sure.
No. Yeah, definitely no.
So congratulations, Brooke. And your dad's pretty cool, so we'll give him that.
He's cooler than the old man that he's hanging out with, or is it the other way around? I don't know. They're both crazy.
It depends on the day. You know.
Yes, that's true.
You know.
Yeah, and if either of them had their Prevagen.
I tend to go towards Grandpa only because he cooks and feeds me when we hang out. So
and Steven put out a good point too. One thing I forgot to mention: that crowd last night was otherworldly.
Yes.
Randy Orton's entrance when he came out to Voices, the crowd was singing louder than the song was playing in the entire arena.
Yeah,
it was insane.
Oh yeah, and I saw that LA Knight, like they were doing his song or his shtick for like 2+ minutes before he talked.
Yep,
that's crazy.
Yeah. These European
I know we've said it before.
Yeah. These European crowds are just showing us up. Like we got to step up here.
Absolutely, yeah. Every time we see shows in Europe, it's like even more and more obvious. Like I think American fans are kind of spoiled in the sense that there's always so many shows to go to choose from that, like, you know, I don't think American crowds like get that like rowdy. Like, you know, there has been some shows lately, like the Jey Uso entrance, for instance, like where the crowd gets livened up, but it's like, other than that, you're not seeing the crowd just like screaming their heads off and partying the whole time. And that's what it's like in the European crowds. They're just partying the whole time.
A lot of it has to do with the fact that these European crowds only get one show a year. The
maybe two.
WWE comes to your town, you know, twice a year with either Raw, SmackDown, or a live event or pay-per-view. So you get more. We get more times to see the product live in person. It's the same thing with music. Bands only go to certain countries once every couple of years. That's why bands like Iron Maiden and Motorhead like that back in the day, when they got off the plane, 50,000 fans were waiting for them at the airport. That's why the fans are so rowdy and so energetic at these European shows, because they don't get to see the product as much as we do.
Yeah, it's really insane. And like we were saying with the crowd singing Randy's song, we're seeing it in AEW with the crowd singing along with Cope. I want to say honestly, like I feel like that all started when the crowd started singing Judas, and the first time was on the cruise. I don't remember ever before that, even in WWE, crowds like singing the lyrics along to songs. I don't really remember it like that. And especially continuing to sing the lyrics like after the music goes out.
Well, the only thing I can compare it to is when the crowd was singing Enter Sandman at ECW One Night Stand 05. That's the only thing I can compare it to. Otherwise, is that we've not seen that outside of what you just mentioned. We hadn't seen it since then.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that was never a thing before. Like, it should have been a thing long ago.
Always.
It's crazy. All right, so
we sung along to it last year, Deb, at the Boston Open party.
Oh my God, yes, we did. It was fantastic. Oh God, that was so much fun. What a fun night that was. So I do want to give you guys a moment to touch on NXT, because I know it's a big show this week. Obviously the Stephanie and Julia stuff. But Oba and Moose, I think, just from my perspective, was the other biggest thing that everybody was talking about. So I wanted to give you guys a chance to touch on that.
Well, so those two matches, yes, but also the other two matches. One of your favorites, Deb, Ethan Page with Javon Evans in the New York City street fight. And then you had the opening match of the Hardys versus Fraxium, which, if you talk about starting off a show hot and you want to get a crowd riled up, the Hardys and Fraxium did that 100%. I mean, let alone not even the match, like just the
Yeah.
Hardys entrance. Just you hear that Hardys music just immediately gets you excited and blood pressure up, adrenaline, everything, and you're just
Yeah.
ready to go. And then
It's true.
the match was crazy because Fraxium was going like a million miles a minute, and but they still were able to work the match for both teams, which was great. And then the Hardys went over, but definitely Fraxium got over more, and it was just a great match.
Yeah.
And then
So hold on.
your
I want to
guy-
point out Steven's comment here. Hell of a show by NXT, felt like a PLE on a weeknight. And that's awesome. That is so awesome. I just want to, put my little sly remark in here that when AEW does a PLE quality show on a Wednesday night, people crap all over it and say, why are they putting this on free TV? Just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, continue.
It's okay. It's okay. What did you think of Ethan Page and Javon Evans?
I thought it was a classic street fight, man. Those two gave it their all. It was physical. The weapons, when they used them, it counted. Like, it wasn't violence for the sake of violence. It was everything had meaning. And that's one of my biggest things, especially getting to be kind of, I would say, a smarter wrestling fan, not trying to put myself over or anything, but I'm just saying, learning this stuff more and more over the years. It's, seeing that stuff, it's like, I agree with a lot of people. There's too much violence for the sake of violence in a lot of these hardcore street fight matches, but they played everything to a T. Javon looked like a star out there, as he always does, man. He was athletic as all hell. Ethan, the perfect heel in this story. I mean, plays it to a T. I mean, he was out there looking to re-break that jaw. And Javon Evans was like, hell no. And I mean, the bumps through the table, and of course, him attempting to twist the hate in the chair, and they took some brutal bumps. Both men worked their asses off. It gave us one hell of a match. So definitely. And I got to say about Hardys and Fraxium, the fact that 30 years later, nearly 30 years later, you got the Hardy Boys still as good as they've ever been on NXT, facing the best team in NXT and one of the best teams in WWE period in Fraxium for the TNA World Tag Team titles.
Yeah.
And now Matt and Jeff at a backstage interview said that they're looking for possibly going after the NXT tag team titles. So little nugget there for everybody to think about.
Me too.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And that and to what you said about the New York City street fight, that ending of Javon putting Ethan's head through the chair and hitting his version of like the Os cutter with Ethan's head through the chair was just incredible. Just great spot, an awesome way to finish the match off, and just you said it with Javon looking like a star and Ethan being the perfect heel. It was great.
I've been singing Ethan's praises for years now.
I know you have.
Yes, number one Ethan Page fan right here in this.
I do miss his YouTube content, though.
I do too.
Like, his YouTube content was great.
But I do want to throw a special shout out to Obafemi and Moose. One hell of a match. That was probably my match of the night. And that's no slight to Julia and Stephanie, but to me, that was the match of the night. Them two beat the living hell out of each other physically. Two dominant dudes just going out there, meat slapping meat, as certain AEW commentators like to say. Yes. It was an awesome match. Both guys. Moose looked amazing, of course, as always, and Oba being the ruler. This is shows the strength of the partnership between NXT and TNA. And I think it's only going to go up from here. I mean, we're starting to see slights of it, and I think it's just going to get better as we get more into WrestleMania season and throughout the rest of this year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, completely.
I wanna put this comment on here. John Day, hold on, Neil, hold on. Let me. Since John from South Jersey is not on the show tonight, I will do the honors and give the GFY for this comment.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, the Hardys are older. They are not old, and they still consistently get the biggest pop on every single show that they're on. Enough said.
Absolutely.
And by looking at his photo, he don't look that much younger than the Hardys. So, you know.
Yeah, you calling yourself old?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And John Bay, Deb did it for John in South Jersey. I'm just gonna double down and say it for John. You can GFY because they might be old men, but Deb said it all. They get the loudest pop. They're still over. They can still go out there and work. Proof was Tuesday night. They went and they worked an indie show on Thursday night, and then they went and worked Sacrifice last night. So, you know.
Yeah.
And as far as I go, I'm just gonna slide this over to Deb, and that way we can go to the next topic.
Yes. All right.
I'm going to refrain.
Okay. So, since we kind of covered the big stuff on WWE, let's move over to the AEW side. We had Revolution last weekend, which I think was one hell of a show, except for the ending, one might argue. Yep. But still, I'd say like 95% a freaking incredible show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had Dynamite on Wednesday. And I think Dynamite was a killer show too. I think Dynamite this week was very promo heavy. Yeah. And that was good, especially coming right after such a big pay-per-view. Like it's kind of the refresher to kind of start new stuff and see where things are going. First of all, I wanted to get your thoughts on the Hollywood ending, and then subsequently what we saw on Wednesday. So I'll go to Ezra first.
The Hollywood ending truly was cinema. I mean, seriously, that match, as violent as it was, as bloody as it was cinema. I mean, seriously, never in my wildest dreams was I thinking that Mariah May and Toni Storm were going to go full Ian Rotten, Axel Rotten, Taipei death match in the middle of that match when they put that tape on their hands and dipped them in the broken champagne glass. Like, I'd never thought that was going to happen. Yeah. But that was great. I mean, both women absolutely put everything into it, told the story as it needed. It was, to me, it was hard to top it, and I don't think any match topped it. Not even the steel cage match between Ospreay and Fletcher, and that was great as well.
Right.
But to me, that match was the match of the night. And what happened on Wednesday with the Toni Storm promo, Toni Storm, of course, nails it every single time. And, you know, the whole, you know, with a tear in my eye and with glass in my ass and just, that popped me. And, you know, it was amazing. And then, you know, obviously now she's got a new challenger in the Megasis, Megan Bayne, which is going to be interesting because I find it interesting because Megan is such a new contender here in AEW. I mean, obviously she's not been around for a long time. Megan Bayne's only been wrestling for a few years, but she's strong. She's talented. She's a beast. And that's what Toni Storm needs. I think she needs somebody who's going to pose a threat. And Megan Bayne does pose a threat. And it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. The one thing I'm interested in seeing is where Mariah goes next. Because she was on this downward spiral towards the woman from hell at the end of this story. Where does it go from here? Does she take that forward to somebody else? Or do we see a new version of Mariah May come out of this? I don't know. But I can't wait to find out.
Neil?
Yeah. Ezra took a lot of the words out of my mouth, you know.
No comment.
Definitely agree that the Hollywood ending Tony Mariah match should have main evented the show. That should have definitely main evented the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It was great. It was bloody. It had everything to it, and it was the perfect way to wrap up their feud. Like Ezra said, curious to see where Mariah May goes. Definitely love the whole Megan Bayne coming out after the promo on Dynamite. Megan Bayne's great. She looks great. She's tall, jacked, tanned. As Ezra knows, she spent a year in Stardom, just wrestling her ass off. So it's going to be interesting because she does have the size and the height and the threat and everything. But Timeless Tony Storm's promo on Wednesday, hilarious. She kills me. She pops me every time. It's great. And just, I love it. I can't get enough of Timeless Tony Storm. To go back to the match, very interesting and awkward, weird way that Mariah May broke a champagne bottle on Tony Storm. Can say I've never seen that before, so that was quite interesting to watch. But I'm just curious to see where everything goes from here. With how the Timeless Tony Storm and Megan Bayne, where Mariah May goes. Cage match was great. Nice blow off to the feud of those two, of Kyle and Will. That was really it. And not to forget about Kenny and Takeshita, which was another phenomenal match. I mean, I know I have, I'm sure Ezra has. We've seen them before in Japan and DDT and everywhere, but watching that match made me feel like I was watching old Kenny from before AEW, and I couldn't be happier to see, the best bout machine back in a wrestling ring.
Yeah, and his promo on Dynamite as well. That kind of made me happy. Like, I know I'm kind of a newer Kenny Omega fan because I don't watch New Japan or any of that stuff. So I became aware of him in I want to say 2018, maybe 2017. I'm not sure. But yeah, his promo and kind of like he looks good. He looks healthy, and it's, it just makes me happy to see. I will absolutely agree with both of you that the Hollywood ending should have been the main event. When I saw that it wasn't the main event, like, my mind immediately went to like, okay, then there's got to be something big planned for after the championship match, after Mox and everything. And then when something big didn't really happen, I was like, oh, interesting. Okay. That should have it would have been so cool to end the pay-per-view with that beautiful shot of looking at those two ladies, like, just laid out on that stage. That would have been a beautiful shot to end the show.
Imagine that in the black and white with the end, where it says the end. And all you get is the AEW, lower third, and that's how you end the show. That would have been
incredible.
That would have been the perfect way to end Revolution.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it is what it is. These things happen. I don't know.
They do. They do.
It is what it is. But like I said, I think it was 95% an awesome, incredible show. Like, every match was just a freaking banger, and we got a ton of story elements out of it.
Bully and always says I'm busted open, or Uncle Bully, whichever one you want to call him. You always remember the finish. So that's what a lot of the IWC and all the other people really remember, was just that finish. But you can't base the entire show, like we've said for the last 3 minutes. You can't base the entire pay-per-view on the finish.
Yeah, exactly.
And
we've all, in all of our time being wrestling fans, we've all sat through shows that are good shows and maybe have one crappy segment. That doesn't mean it was a bad show.
No, not at all.
So I wanted to, other than the Tony Storm stuff, which was amazing, I wanted to get your thoughts on specifically Christian's backstage promo from Dynamite, with the confusion of what happened at the end of Revolution. And we saw Swerve come out. There's multiple people kind of gunning for Mox. There was the failed cash-in from Christian, and then we saw Christian basically making excuses and saying, like, no, that wasn't the deal. It wasn't supposed to be a three-way. I was basically going, I wasn't ready. And then we had, then we had Nick Wayne get in his face and say, like, that you're just making excuses. Christian kind of showed his authority over Nick and Mama Wayne, while Kip just kind of stood in the background and just glared at them. I don't know. So yeah, I wanted to get your thoughts on kind of where do you see this whole thing with Mox going, and specifically Christian's part, because he's still going to be involved in this. So Neil.
Yeah. I liked the fact that Nick Wayne finally stood up, and looked like he actually grew a pair, and stood up and said what he said to Christian. But I like the way that Christian, immediately just stopped him in his tracks and was like, no, this, and said what they said. And my God, they couldn't get any closer. Noses were touching and bending like this, and I'm just like, damn, like, get closer. And I was like, good. I was invested, and I was like, good. Maybe we can finally start getting some of that asshole Christian that Tommy Dreamer and Bully talk about all the time.
Christian's
and just
a dick.
Yeah, exactly. And what made me really like Christian was when Mama Wayne stepped in, and he immediately just shut her down and was like, hey, you can go back to working at Waffle House. And be like, oh, well then fuck, okay. But yeah, it was just great all around. Like the way that Nick stepped up, Christian handled him, handled Mama Wayne, and like you said, Deb, Kip just stood there, okay. Like
at the end, he kind of shook his head and walked away.
That was great. But yeah, it was funny.
Neil, to me, Kip in the Patriarchy is like Carlito in the Judgment Day.
That's right on. That is so right on.
Yes, definitely.
I agree.
Definitely.
Yeah. So what do you think's gonna happen next with Christian then? Like, where do you see this going?
I see, since he took the loss.
Yeah.
He should play a heel Christian dickhead move and try and get a rematch. He should try and be the first one to get the rematch. But you have Cope, you have Swerve, you have Cope. I'm sorry, he's always going to be Edge. It's been Edge.
I know, it's tough. I know.
Being the fact that I'm the oldest one here. I've watched him the longest. It's Edge. His name is Edge. That's it. I don't care. I'm not calling him by his real name. No way. It just feels weird. Okay.
Okay.
Edge should be the one to get the rematch because he never officially lost the match.
Yeah.
So it should be either Edge or Christian Cage, and you have Swerve, and you kind of work the three of them in together.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do a 3-way or maybe you do like you do some kind of single elimination tournament between the three of them.
Yeah.
Who knows?
See, it can't be a 3-way because the whole thing is Christian's pissed off because he didn't agree to a 3-way.
Exactly. That's why you have maybe you have like a single elimination. You do Christian and Edge, and then the winner faces Swerve, and then the winner of that gets to face Moxley.
Okay. Ezra?
Well, let me start it off with a poem. Roses are red, violets are blue, Christian's a dick, Edge said it, it's true. So there you go. I'll start off with that. But now seriously though, look, Christian is Christian. That's who he is. Also, I can't cope with the name change, so I'll just call him Edge. No pun. But look, I thought Christian's promo dead on. He was great. It was the great guy making up excuses for the fact he lost out, and and then Nick Wayne goes and confronts him. I thought Nick Wayne did an awesome job at his part, and then Christian tearing him down, tearing Mama Wayne down. Just an absolute, just being who his character is, being a dickhead who is willing to exploit their weaknesses for his benefits. So, to me, Christian is I've always said this from the very beginning that not counting MJF, Christian is the best heel in AEW by a long shot. And it's going to be interesting to see where the story plays out because, like you said, we got multiple different contenders, all wanting the championship. I like his idea of the single elimination, but I would not include Swerve, only because Swerve won that number one contendership in that match with Ricochet. So, unless you do something, because Ricochet is trying to go after the AEW World Title as well. He's another contender that's throwing his name in the hat. If you're going to do something like that, I think one of the things I would go with would be maybe a fatal 4-way elimination match with the winner getting a shot at the AEW World Championship.
Okay.
If you did something like that, Christian could maybe weasel his way into a contender spot. Maybe he waits until the last second, sneaks in, does a cheap roll up, or finds a way to have Mama or Nick Wayne come out and help him out. But something like that, some dirty typical heel tactic.
Right.
I think that would be your best. I think that would be one of your better options to kind of add some intrigue, add a little more intrigue into the story.
And we know that AEW loves them some elimination matches.
Yes.
So and
elimination, and eliminator.
Yeah.
So tonight on Collision we have Ricochet versus Shibata in the International Championship Eliminator tournament. And then we also have Mark Davis and Mark Briscoe.
An Aussie versus a crazy chicken farmer.
That should be interesting.
Yep. And then I saw that it's Thunder Rosa versus Megan Bayne.
Yes, Thunder versus Megan Bayne tonight on Collision. So I find it interesting, like with the women's division, like, Megan Bayne is obviously seemingly going to be getting a decent push. And I think it's good that they have kind of these, what seems like random matchups, but it's basically a way for Megan Bayne, the newcomer, to kind of show what she's got up against someone like Thunder. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that match. That's going to be awesome. One thing I wanted to mention about this whole Mox thing, and I saw it kind of being discussed this week over on Blue Sky, is there was someone who posted kind of hypothesizing about like maybe the whole angle with Mox is that they're basically dangling the carrot in front of the fans of like the fans want him to lose and they're gonna like make the fans think he's gonna lose and then they take it away. And then it's going to come to a point where someone actually beats him, and it's going to make that even more satisfying. And there was a quote that I saw from Ricochet today that was posted on Fightful, where Ricochet, Ricochet's being a heel, and I think what he's doing is very much working. But he was like, I like what Mox and the Death Riders are doing. They're holding people accountable. And that's also another thing that I saw people discussing is Mox's whole thing in all of his weird cryptic promos that we didn't know what he was talking about.
You mean like how he's talking about how he's like his promos of like how he's talking like the Ultimate Warrior?
Yes, yeah, like we don't know what he means. Like, everybody's confused. But he kept mentioning things along the lines of like nobody knows what the grind is anymore. You young guys have it too easy, kind of things like that. And like basically wanting people to step up and wanting people to like, fight for their spot on the card and kind of things like that. And if you really think about it, it's kind of working. Like a lot of people in the AEW roster have been stepping up. The matches have been better. The stories have been better. We come away from most shows going like, oh, that was a pretty decent show. And so like he's in a way, it's working what he's trying to do because the rest of the roster is stepping up. The rest of the roster is fighting to have that match that they can go like, oh, follow that. And that's what we saw on the pay-per-view on Saturday. Sunday. I don't know what day it is. So
it's the wine.
So yeah, that's one thing I wanted to bring up about Mox and the Death Riders is like multiple people coming after him. Hangman and Swerve almost seem to be the front runners, but we got Darby on a fucking mountain somewhere. That
he's
we're
still
not
around?
Sure. Yeah.
He's gonna do a carpet
when
drop
he's
off the top
coming
of Mount Everest.
back. A lot of people think he's coming back at All In. In that Ricochet quote that I saw today, when he was talking about Mox and the Death Riders, he mentioned back in the 80s, a storyline between Magnum TA and Nikita Koloff. That Nikita Koloff kept winning, and the crowd was getting frustrated and angry because Nikita Koloff kept winning, and then Magnum TA finally beat him. And Ricochet was basically saying, like, who's going to be the Magnum TA that finally takes down Mox? There's one particular person on the roster looks a lot like Magnum TA these days.
Yeah, it's a crazy horseman from Virginia.
Crazy, sensitive, anxious millennial cowboy.
Yes. I don't know.
And leaves his plants.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Well, if you don't know, then you don't know then.
Exactly.
Need I remind you that Hangman did nothing wrong?
What are you, the spokesperson for Kevin Owens now too?
Yeah, really. it really. Hangman.
Well, Kevin is right too.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Look,
but Hangman did burn down another man's childhood home. So
details.
That's your grandma world title shot right off the bat.
here
What are you
and
talking about?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What I'm. Yeah.
Arson doesn't give you 25 years. It gets you a world title shot in AEW.
Yeah.
Okay,
What am I
okay.
talking about? Yeah. Yeah. But Ezra, I do agree with you. Deb turning into Kevin Owens over here, like the spokesperson. Like, what are we? Are we reverting back to old, Ring of Honor days of Kevin Owens being himself and being the spokesperson, where he says he didn't do anything wrong to a friend of his that wore a mask? Okay, front row.
Kevin is right, and Hangman
Yes.
did nothing wrong. Sorry, MJF. Oh God.
I don't know about that.
So yeah. Anywho. Okay. Sidebar. There's somebody downstairs cooking bacon right now.
Yes. I wish there was smell-o-vision, because to peel the curtain back, we'll just open up the curtain. On the pre-show, I was enjoying listening to Seinfeld.
Yeah, and I was listening to Queen. And I was listening to Queen while the sweet smell of Golden Corral was being delivered to my house.
Oh, nice.
I'm pretty sure if you rewind a few minutes, you can tell the moment that scent wafted up here.
Yeah. You went like, oh, what? Like your head turned like a dog hearing a whistle. Like it was like, oh, bacon. Where's
bacon? Tasty bacon.
Yeah. Yes.
You're like the dog in a bacon strips commercial.
Yep.
Yes. I am.
So we know what Deb's going to be doing after the show. She's going to go downstairs and inhale bacon.
Yeah. All right. I want to give you guys. On a side
note, Deb loves her meat.
Well,
Hey. Yes. But the Denise Salcedo line fits perfectly for you.
When the meat is good, the meat is good. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Something happened in Japan last night / this morning. And I wanted to give you guys a chance to talk about it. I'm going to go to Ezra first. I'm assuming you are updated on everything since you both are crazy with that. So go ahead and give us, your updates and what you liked the most about everything that's happening.
Well, obviously for right now, what's going on obviously is the New Japan Cup, which is one of the biggest tournaments of the year for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Quick little thing for those who don't know, it's a single elimination tournament with the winner getting an IWGP World Championship shot at Sakura Genesis coming up in April. So it's a big tournament. Today, they officially narrowed down the Final Four. And the Final Four are David Finlay, of course, former global champion, Zack Sabre Jr., Shota Umino, and the Dragon, Shingo Takagi.
Yep.
So we got a pretty stacked Final Four heading into this tournament. I forget what date the semis and the finals are going to be.
The semifinal. There's a show tomorrow morning for the semifinal, and then the tournament ends on March 20th.
Okay, yeah.
So a Wednesday.
Yeah, but it's been a pretty strong tournament. Some great matches. Like Zack Sabre Jr. defeated his old Dangerous Tekkers tag team partner Taichi this morning in a very personal fight. A lot of emotions shared between both guys, as obviously they became best friends over the time they were a tag team. So it was a very, very great match. Zack Sabre always delivers. David Finlay is just one of the most savage guys on the roster. Of course, the leader of the War Dogs. And of course, there's sidebars to every match in some form or fashion, because obviously you got David Finlay who's trying to fight to get Bullet Club back from the House of Torture. You got Zack Sabre Jr. looking to get back his IWGP World Title shot. You got Shota Umino who's looking to prove himself and prove that he's a different man than what he was. And the Dragon Shingo Takagi trying to get back to prominence where he was after losing the never openweight title to Takeshita at Wrestle Dynasty. So it's been a road for everybody, but Sakura Genesis is going to be the next big event where the winner of this tournament gets that title shot, and whoever it is, it's going to be a banger of a match. That's for sure. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Neil?
Yeah, no, completely. You are right. This morning's show was great. Lots of rumors swirling around that Jeff Cobb's leaving New Japan and he's going to WWE. Even more fueled by the fact that he lost this morning to Shota Umino, which I don't believe the rumors. In wrestling, I don't believe rumors until I see the person actually show up where the internet says they're going to show up. I don't believe any of it until it actually happens. But Ezra completely right. New Japan Cup, big tournament, Sakura Genesis, big match. They had a big IWGP World Heavyweight title defense this morning. Hiroki Goto, successfully defending V2 against Yuji Nagata. And the crowds have turned out for Hiroki Goto, which I'm just shocked because I've never been a big Goto fan. He's always just been vanilla to me. But 2 shows, almost 12,000 people, or 3 shows, almost 12,000 people. So, hey, it must be doing something. But yeah, yes.
Oh,
that too, front row. Yes, that's going to be great. And I'm really looking forward to tomorrow morning for semifinal and then the final. I'm pushing for one of my favorites, and I know our good friend and fellow Nation Corner member Trendo's favorite, Zack Sabre Jr. He's looking to go for, and Deb, I know you like him too.
My favorite, absolutely.
I hope he goes all the way and wins, and this will be his 3rd victory of the New Japan Cup and gets back his title. On a side note, some big stuff happened in Stardom this morning as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mayu Iwatani is going to defend her IWGP Women's title against Shuri at the Stardom Queendom show at the end of next month. By the time that show comes around, Mayu will have been the IWGP Women's Champion for 720 days.
Dang.
Yes. And I forgot the exact number that this title defense will make. But you have that title defense, and then you have Saya Kamatani versus Tam Nakano. It's the Stardom World title, the red belt, and it's also career versus career. So winner wins the title, stays in Stardom, loser loses and has to leave Stardom. So that's going to be that's a big match right there. And not to forget a show Ezra is going to in 3 weeks, 4 weeks or so. Windy City Riot in Chicago. There's a hell of a match that's going to happen there. Gabe Kidd, the most madman in pro wrestling, and the New Japan
I like him.
Strong.
I'm a fan.
The New Japan Strong Openweight Champion versus the Stone Pitbull. The only wrestler I've ever seen in person that legitimately has no neck.
Yes, he's like the narrator in the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes. So,
yeah.
Ezra, I'm going to put it back to you. Your thoughts on Windy City Riot show?
Dude, it's already looking like a stacked show. I mean, it's Tanahashi's final appearance in the U.S. on his retirement tour.
Which I'm
obviously,
jealous.
he's going to retire at Wrestle Kingdom next year. So this will be his final U.S. appearance. He's going to be doing autographs at the C2E2 Comic-Con, which I will be attending. And I'll get more into that when we do our plugs in a little bit. But he's going to be doing autograph signings along with Gay Kid and a few others. And it's going to be awesome to see Tanahashi's final match in the United States. Gabe Kidd, of course, is a guy I've always wanted to see in person because I just love his attitude and the brashness, and doesn't give a flying fuck about anything and will fight anybody no matter who it is. And I got to say, what turned it around for him was the match with Kenny Omega. When he represented New Japan and put that Lion's mark on his shorts that night, he wrestled Omega, that got the crowd behind him, and the crowd now loves Gabe Kidd. Yep. And he's really garnered not only faith in Japan, but also with the U.S. crowds as well. I think he's really, really done a great job with that. But this show is going to be off the hook. It's going to be in Wintrust Arena, literally a 10-minute walk right down the road from C2E2 at McCormick Place. It's going to be an amazing, amazing thing. If you're going to be in the area, get your tickets now. It's going to be just an incredible night of hard-hitting pro wrestling.
Yeah, and the fact that Tomohiro Ishii and Gabe Kidd are a 30-minute Iron Man match. That's the match.
Insane.
That's the match of the show. I mean, you got Takeshita versus the Ace, the President Tanahashi, for the never openweight title. But just Gabe Kidd, Tomohiro Ishii, 30-minute Iron Man match. Exactly, Steven.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And that match is the reason why I'm a Gabe Kidd fan. Like, I had heard of him before that, but not really seen a ton of his matches. And then I saw that, and I was like, oh, man, I like this guy.
And Deb, for aesthetics for you, I would say you look up Driller Maloney. Dan Maloney, because this dude he is just, Ezra, you know what I'm talking about. He has just become a fucking beast since he beat Shingo. And
8-pack shredded, bulky as fuck still.
Yeah.
So you get one look at him, Deb, you will be drooling more than you're drooling at that bacon.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. He is an Indian British guy. He's an Indian British guy from England.
Okay.
He started out as a heavyweight, couldn't cut it, so he lost weight, went down to a junior heavyweight, got into New Japan, and these last few years has been in New Japan as a junior heavyweight. Beat the Dragon, Shingo Takagi, and then declared himself a heavyweight, and in the month he had off, just completely went insane in the gym and is just a fucking house of meat right now. Like, he is jacked. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So that's somebody for you, Deb, to check out. But yeah, no, there's a lot going on. Ezra, I don't know if you follow Pro Wrestling Noah as much as I do.
Not as much, but I've been seeing some of the things they have been doing. They've been putting on some good shows. Obviously, one of my favorites, the Kamikaze, Mr. Ninja Mac, is over there killing it all the time. Over there at Pro Wrestling Noah. So shout out to Ninja Mac, always, doing his shtick, and dominating the junior heavyweight division as he always does. So shout out to him.
Yeah, and just to turn into Pro Wrestling Noah, the Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling show tonight. Last night had former 3-time GHC heavyweight champion Kaito Kiyomiya on it,
Yep, and it also featured former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champ, the Bone Soldier himself, Taiji Shimori from New Japan.
Yep. Deb, you might remember Kiyomiya as the guy that got in the ring and kicked Okada in the face, and Okada went crazy on him.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes. So that was the guy that was on the show last night. But yeah,
okay.
But yeah, no, a lot of things happening. Personally, I'm excited. Next month, Stardom will be. I will be out in Vegas for WrestleMania weekend myself. Fellow Nations Corner members, Mark's in New Mexico with his brother, Trenda from LA, the highest of the Nations Corner, and I do mean highest, Mr. Money Mark. I love you, brother. And the originator of the Busted Open Fathead, Scott in Long Island. So,
hell yeah.
So we will all be out there all weekend. I know myself, Trenda, and maybe Money Mark are going to. I know the three of us are going to the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling Show on Friday morning.
Hell yeah.
I will be going to Stardom Thursday morning. And then we have just a whole bunch of shows to go to Thursday, Friday. We're just hanging out. We'll be there all weekend. So if you see a Nation's Corner shirt or this face minus the beard,
Yeah, you'll be freshly shaven at that point.
I will be. There's definitely one show that I would like to shout out. Friday afternoon, Texas Wrestling Cartel. Good friend of ours, friend of the show, friend of ours. We've met her. Izzy Moreno will be having a match against the first WWE ID announced signee, Zeta Steel. So that should be a great match. A big fan of both of them, but I'm going to have to pull for our friend Izzy.
Yes. Definitely.
Because I don't want her mom or dad to see me that weekend and
absolutely beat the
I don't want to be on the wrong. I don't want to be on the wrong side of Izzy's mom's. Meet bad side. I'm gonna go for our friend Izzy, and it'll be great to see them. Haven't seen them in a year, but WrestleMania weekend is going to be awesome.
You guys are going to have fun.
I'm going to have to take a lot of photos because I'm not going to remember a lot of the weekend.
No, you definitely won't.
I definitely won't.
I don't remember when we were at the Wicked Wolf in Philly.
Exactly. That, yeah. But it's going to be an awesome weekend. I can't wait for it. I can't wait. We have a whole bunch of great wrestling tonight, all week, every day of every week of every month is great wrestling.
Yes.
I know I will possibly be seeing Deb on Long Island at TNA pay-per-view.
Yes, we have to talk about that and start making plans.
Yes, we do. And Ezra, I need to meet you one of these days, my friend.
Trust me, we are going to make it happen. That's my plan this year. We are making it happen.
You need to, if not this year, your ass needs to be at WrestleMania next year in New Orleans.
Dude, I plan on being there, and I plan on being a Mania in Indy as well.
Okay.
Ooh,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty close to you. Yeah.
2.5 hours straight south. That's all I got to go.
There we go.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. But,
all right.
Oh, hey.
All right. Well, shall we end this?
Yeah.
Started a few minutes ago. All right. Well, it's been fun. We got some good WWE, AEW, New Japan talking, a little bit of everything. All right.
That's what we do the best here.
That's what we do. Neil, where can people find you?
the name on the screen. Just put the @ symbol in front of it
Oh,
on X. That's it. That's it. That's all. You know, I would say Instagram, but I really don't post much about the douchebag beers anymore there. So just follow on X. That's it.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, Ed.
All right, you can follow me right here at Deadman469 across most of my socials. Don't forget to follow Our Nation Sports Show, the sister show to this show, every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, on youtube.com/Our Nation Sports Show, talking all things sports, especially with the NFL draft coming up and UFL starting. We're going to get really busy. We got some cool topic-driven stuff coming up this week. Top five NFL draft picks if they were pro wrestlers. 5 on the offense, 5 on the defense. It's going to be very awesome. It's going to be a nice little topic-driven show this week. So check that out. Owen_Sports Show on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. All that stuff is under Our Nation Sports Show. Also, real quick, Too Sweet Cosplay across all socials. We got our wrestling-themed panel on Sunday, April 13th, from 3 to 3:45 in room S41D at McCormick Place in Chicago, Illinois. You can get tickets to join us at c2e2.com. 3-day passes are pretty much sold out, but you can get single-day passes on the website, c2e2.com, and join us. And we'll have more information as to what else we're doing as we get closer. So keep an eye at 2 Sweet Cosplay across all socials for future information.
All right. Sweet.
Awesome.
All right, and I am at That's So Debonair. Neil, you had something?
No, I was pointing to you.
Okay. I am at That's So Debonair on the Twitter machine and on Instagram and on Blue Sky. And as Neil always says, click the link.
Oh, yeah. Click the link. Yep.
All right. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining us. Have a wonderful night.